Today, we're taking a first look at Kreg's biggest move in years, the new 20-volt Ionic drive cordless tool line. Let's see if this new platform is worth your attention. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Kreg is doing something I never thought I'd see. They're stepping out of the jig and joinery world, and they're launching their first ever cordless power tool platform. This past October, Kreg rolled out the new 20-volt Ionic drive cordless tool line. And for a company built on pocket hole jigs and guides and stuff like that, this is a massive shift. I'll be honest with you, personally, with over 15 years of using Kreg gear on face frames, interior trim, exterior and interior windowsill work and trim work, this move has my attention. It's ambitious, it's unexpected, and it could either make Kreg far more useful to woodworkers, even pro contractors, or it could stretch the brand beyond what it already does really well. So today, I'm taking a critical first look at the Rebel 20-volt system and the entire Ionic drive line to see whether Kreg's leap into cordless tools is exciting or concerning. So let's talk about the Rebel pocket hole joiner. That's their headliner, flagship release, tool with this release. The Rebel pocket hole joiner, it's a cordless, self-contained joinery tool. It's a pocket hole jig. It integrates the drill, the jig, and the clamping mechanism all in one portable unit with a cordless battery. This is genuinely an innovative concept for job site work, cabinet installations, face frames, on-the-fly repairs. The simplicity alone will appeal to pros. Not having to have clamps and all the other stuff, right? Kreg's design philosophy, it's always been simple, approachable, confidence-building tools that comes through, and it comes through here. But innovation aside, this launch raises some questions, right? Brand new battery platform always carries risk. Historically, Kreg combines hardened steel guides with plastic bodies, right? If Rebel relies too much on the plastic under a motorized load, longevity could be a concern. And also, probably one of the most important ones is existing Kreg users, like myself, need to buy into an untested battery ecosystem. Frankly, you got to buy another battery and charge, right? No, I'm not psyched about that. But that said, this is the first cordless pocket hole tool of its kind, and if performance matches the concept, it could be a strong addition for mobile contractors, certainly, cabinet installers, stuff like that. But Kreg is rolling out its first new Ionic drive 20-volt platform alongside the Rebel, and it's an all woodworking focused cordless lineup. So it's a Tracksaw with track, barrel grip jigsaw, a drill and impact driver, compact 4.5-inch circular saw, multi-tool, and a random Orbital sander, 5-inch sander. Look, it's a bold move into a market already dominated by giants like DeWalt, Festool, Makita, Milwaukee, and Ryobi. Power tools, they live or die on runtime, serviceability, durability, and long-term performance, right? And platform stability, that's a big one. Kreg's tools, they need to exceed expectations, not just meet them in this, I think. And launching a brand new battery ecosystem is always a gamble. The Blue Ion 20-volt battery will run all Ionic drive tools. There are 23 SKUs at this launch, with more promise. That's pretty cool. That's an upside. Another upside is that these tools are completely engineered and designed for continuous type woodworking loads and workshops. The downside, look, I just mentioned it, it's clear. Kreg has no cordless track record. Users have to buy into a platform, a new platform. There's no cross-brand battery compatibility, which I really wish there was an option for that, or maybe just a corded option. But for a company new to cordless power tools, adoption will hinge strongly on battery reliability and long-term commitment from Kreg. So let's take a first look at using the tools. I went through all of them a little bit. This is not a deep dive review, but I did go through these tools. The Rebel pocket hole joiner, cordless, all-in-one pocket hole joiner. It combines a drill, jig, clamp, all in one tool. It was super easy to set up and calibrate. It's powered by a 20-volt brushless motor, and it offers tool-free adjustments for material thicknesses and a depth of a 1/2 inch up to 1.5 inches. The alignment was straightforward and clear with reference marks. The Grip Max surface really holds that surface without clamping. Super impressed. We liked the rear extension legs, which give you stability on small workpieces like a face frame. Dust collection was outstanding when I connected it to my 1.25 inch vac adapter. But the tool also has a chip in, and it works pretty well. The tool is fast and easy to use. It's compact, got kind of like cast metal frame, folding handle. It's compatible with all of Kreg's batteries, but also pocket hole screws and plugs, and it's totally compatible with the pocket hole system. I think offering third-party battery adapters for pros who are already majorly invested in a battery platform, I think you'd sell more jigs, but we'll see. The next tool we looked at was their Tracksaw and Track. So it's a plunge cutting track saw built for controlled accurate cuts, right? It pairs with the Kreg 62-inch track guide, and they have joining rods, so you can go longer if you need to. It's a 12-amp motor, load compensation, and it features a retracting riving knife and electronic brake. It has an optional anti-kickback mechanism on the shoe plate that prevents the saw from sliding back or kicking back. I didn't like that. I found it awkward in case I needed to move the saw a little bit. I didn't use it. But the blade left orientation, it's going to be welcomed by many as it improves visibility for right-hand users. 85% of the population is right-handed, right? Cutting capacity, 2 1/8 inch at 90, 1.5 inches at 45. It's going to bevel -1 to 47 degrees. It ships with a 48 tooth carbide blade, a dust port, and a dust bag, which is really nice. I used it mostly with a vacuum. Comes as a kit with the 62-inch track, the saw, the battery, a charger. It's going to run you around $450, which is a great price. Really good price. Overall, we really like the Tracksaw. Registered to its track quickly, had plenty of power cutting through 2 layers of plywood. Plunge action was smooth. Dust collection was disappointing, even with the vacuum attached, right? So I even put blue tape over the arbor hole to see if it would improve suction. It didn't. But I did do a runtime test. I got 150 linear feet in birch plywood on one single 4-amp-hour battery. We're definitely not fans of the 2-piece track joining bar. It's clumsy and outdated. It should be 1-piece, Kreg. Do better at that, you've got to. And this saw is unfortunately not compatible with Festool, Makita, or Milwaukee tracks, which is a bummer. Moving on to the router, it's a 1/4-inch trim router, rack and pinion depth adjustment up to 1 9/16 inches, accepts bits from 1 3/8 with a 1/4 inch and 6 millimeter collet. Speeds range from 10,000 to 30,000 RPMs. It has a die-cast base metal housing, really appears durable. The bit depth adjustment is smooth. It was easy to adjust. Dust collection works extremely well, especially obviously when connected to a vacuum. The dust shroud screws and clips into the router base. Really good securement there. The router has good power, dual LEDs, and a clear base plate. Give you good visibility. We were not a fan of the 2-button activation. It's like an unlock power on. But look, we recognize that's a safety feature, and it's probably a smart thing. I hate the 2-button thing. This router, it sells for $150 bare tool. 230 kitted with a smaller battery. There's 2 different size batteries in this release. Their Jigsaw, barrel grip jigsaw, compact and comfortable to control. First impression. Offers a 0 to 45 bevel range, detents at your normal 22.5 and 45 degrees. 6 variable speeds, which is up on the head of this tool. 4 orbital settings, dust blower. Top speed is, I think, 3,800 strokes per minute. It uses T-shank blades with a tool-free lever blade change system, but it does not eject the blade on its own. It's a little bit of a bummer. The front base plate is actually connected. It's not open like a U, so it provides better stability, good visibility, even a place to hold it if you had to. Dust collection, however, was poor. One other drawback on this Jigsaw was the left-sided power switch. Obviously favors right-handed users, but it can be accidentally pressed during a cut moving your hand. I did it several times, which is put the switch somewhere else. We also noticed that the switches and levers on this Jigsaw were lighter grade plastic and, I don't know, it felt kind of somewhat toy-like. Price, $150 bare tool, 230 kitted with a smaller battery and charger. All right, let's move on to the sander. It's a 5.5-inch random orbital sander. It's going to offer a variable speed from 6,000 to 12,000, oscillating per minute with a 3 30-second orbit. And it's a pretty good range for different sanding applications. It uses a 5-inch hook and loop pad with 8-hole pattern. The grip supports multiple hand positions, which I really like because you got to change it around when you're using a continuous tool like this. It has a balanced fan and kind of a pad seal, and that was designed to help manage vibration. Talk about vibration in a minute. Dust control, handled by an 1.25 inch dust port or removable dust bag. Both worked well. Attachment was great. The dust-proof power button and variable speed push to adjust button was a really nice touch. I really liked that. The sander has drop protection and heat management. Again, good for a continuous use tool for painters and wood finishing. In use, the sander is comfortable to use. It has good power. It removes material fast, but it does produce some noticeable amount of vibration. I compared it to 2 other sanders I have, so it definitely vibrates more. As a kit, you can buy this for $200 with a smaller battery and a charger. The circular saw was interesting. So this compact circular saw, it's a 4.5-inch circular saw, brushless motor. It runs at 5,000 RPMs, and it comes with a 36-tooth blade on a 3/8 arbor. The cutting depth is 1 11/16 at 90 and 1 1/16 at 45. Bevel adjustments from 0 to 45. This is a great like shop saw breaking down things. The saw includes an auxiliary handle kind of up top, soft start motor, electric brake, LED light, 1.25-inch dust port, on tool storage, and clear depth adjusters and indicators, which is great. When I used it, it was powerful, smooth, and precise for cutting plywood and some trim. Dust collection was exceptionally good attached to the vacuum, but it creates this loud suction noise, and it's probably because it's just a small little area it's coming through, and it's just like a loud whining noise. Electric brake was fast. We did run into an issue with the depth knob, the blade depth knob. It can spin off and get lost. And then when you reinstall it, sometimes you can reinstall it incorrectly, so the knob hangs down below the base plate, so you got to take it off and reinstall it again. Kind of weird, finicky there. So they should look at that. Price is $150 for a bare tool, $230 kitted with the smaller battery and charger. The Multitool was next, and the Kreg Oscillating Multitool offers variable speeds from 7,000 to 17,000 oscillating per minute, accepts both open and closed back universal blades. It features a tool-free blade change system like a lever with a little nut. Blade release lever works really well. Large, easy to use with gloves. Large push button trigger, almost like a paddle trigger, but not, it's a trigger. It includes a lock-on function, which is nice, and an LED light, which was bright and genuinely useful. The tool uses a metal housing and metal gearing for durability. In use, the trigger design and quick blade changes were the highlights for sure. Really nice. But the tool has noticeable vibration. Now, all multi-tools have vibration, but this had more than others that I've tested. Bare tool is about $140. Kitted is like $220 with a battery and charger. The next thing that we looked at was their cordless drill. So this is a 1/2-inch compact drill, 1/2-inch, which is nice. It's only 5.9 inches long. It's designed for tight spaces. Great for getting into bookcases and cabinets and stuff like that. It has 2 speeds, 2-speed gearbox, 0 to 500 RPMs for torque, 0 to 2,000 RPMs for speed, and a 20+1 clutch setting. The clutch was nice, but that thing it was plastic. The chuck is all metal, which is great. 1/2-inch chuck holds the drill and driver bit securely, tightens nice. The drill itself can deliver 650 inch-pounds of torque and has a, like I said, metal gear for housing and durability. So I do think that they're thinking about long-term here. I found it reminiscent of kind of early generation drills that I used maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Just kind of felt like that. The LED light, they put it low on the battery, and you know, it's not as effective as when it's up on the housing motor or up near there where it's shooting right at the bit. The drill itself is going to sell for $99. Bare tool, that's awesome. $179 kitted with 1 2-amp-hour battery, or $340 with the impact driver and 2 small batteries. So that's a nice deal. The 1.25-inch compact impact driver, it's 4.4 inches long, nice and tight. It delivers 2,200 inch-pounds of torque and 3,700 impact per minute. It features 3 speed settings, an assist mode, and a variable speed trigger from 0 to 2,900 RPMs. The 1/4-inch hex quick connect collet, it allows you to just take the bit and put it right in. You don't have to pull on the collet. All metal construction, which is durable, and we like that. In forward assist mode, which is just a push button off the battery, you can go like speeds and then assist mode. It slows control of the fastener, so you don't overstrip, or you can, if you're in reverse, you can remove it using kind of a controlled pulsing action. So it's a slower speed for a smoother, more precise extraction, preventing kind of uncontrolled spinning and stripping the screws. We really liked that feature. And we liked the size and power and control of this. The assist mode, I think, was what I liked the most. The price of this is $119 for bare tool, $200 kitted with 1 battery, or $240 with the drill and 2 batteries. Impressive release from Kreg. That's the new Kreg Ionic drive tools. Kreg is also offering new dowel jigs and SureCut saw blades. It's their new branded blade. While we did not look at the dowel jig, it's a great alternative to pocket holes, right? Pocket screws. It offers multiple alignment methods. It allows woodworkers to create cleaner, more traditional joints. And look, this is important where visible surfaces or higher end furniture where pocket hole screws just aren't ideal. The new SureCut blades, they feature carbide teeth, anti-stick coatings, and vibration dampening relief cuts. They're not making a ton of them. They make one for the Tracksaw, the little cut saw. I'm sure they're going to add some. They're woodworking specific blades. That's their focus, right? It's promising. It's really promising. But this is a category already crowded with established blade companies and even major power tool companies making blades. These blades will need to provide consistently cleaner cuts than traditional construction grade blades to justify their place in the market. That's just my 2 cents on that. So my closing thoughts on all this is Kreg has built a loyal following by making joinery simple and approachable, and they just solve problems for us. Their tools are easy to use, they're accurate enough for day-to-day use on the job site, and they solve problems. They've now entered the cordless tool world, and that's a bold, unexpected, potentially game-changing opportunity for them. Certainly the Rebel joiner is their standout, followed closely behind that Tracksaw, right? Really well priced. In our opinion, the Ionic drive line is designed for woodworkers. Look, DIYers certainly, and even some pros are going to like this. They're certainly going to like the Rebel. I'd love to see a corded version of the Rebel, or one that maybe had a third-party adapter to fit some of our brand batteries that we're already running. But look, we know that Kreg has to overcome some major hurdles, right? They got to win trust in a brand new battery platform. They've got to deliver trade-grade durability in their very first power tool release, and provide tools that can stand alongside already heavy hitters dominating the market. I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Kreg adds to this line. We're going to continue to track performance on these tools and maybe even revisit them once we've had some more time with them. As always, we're going to judge these tools the way we judge everything here at the Tool Lab, not by marketing claims, but by how they perform in real job site and workshop conditions. If you'd like to see us do a deep dive on any of these tools, leave us a comment. We'll do what we can. We'll have some more hands-on testing and tool head-to-head testing coming from our Tool Lab really soon. We've got some really cool stuff coming out, so stay tuned. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and more importantly, tap subscribe and stick with us for our next review. Stay well, everybody.